right, welcome back to Fruit Beer Week for Poppin Caps here at Townline Fine Wine, Spirits, and Beer on ctboom.com. I'm with Steve, I'm Begley, and we're moving on to our third beer of the week, which is from Chapeau, and it's a Lambic beer, a Lambic strawberry. Now, Lambic, as you were saying earlier, is kind of, there's a lot going on with it. So explain to us a little bit for people that don't know what a Lambic is.
Okay, Lambic, one of the big things with Lambic is it's the fermentation takes place by, with a lot of these other beers, you introduce the yeast strain. It's a carefully controlled thing.
Right.
Breweries carefully guard their strain of yeast, all that kind of stuff. With Lambic, it's actually a natural fermentation. Mm-hmm. You have these big vats where the wort gets ready to be introduced to the yeast, right. And then they basically open the windows, and the yeast that comes in from the air lands in the vat, and that's how you get it. Somebody once told me that back in the old days, the joke was that the first step of bottling Lambic is to take all the spider webs off the top, because it's just it's a big open
right. It's just like a big
process
open,
traditionally. Yeah. So Lambic can run the gamut. I mean, you can have some week we'll have to do like sour beers, and that'll be worth doing. But the natural fermentation gets a lot of can end up very, very sour.
Right.
So what they do a lot of the time is they infuse the fruit to it. That's kind of become more and more common. Right. Some people, there's a famous one, Cantillon, infuses the cherries traditionally, and it's still very sour. People that like that beer refer to it as a horse blanket soaked in cherry juice. Okay. Something like this. This is a little sweeter, but it's not. Again, it's not soda.
It's not.
There's
right.
Some of the Lambic companies, what they end up doing is they try to make it so sweet and so fruity that it's like it ends up tasting like cherry soda.
And they have multiple different fruit varieties.
Yeah,
over here, right?
I mean this is just kind of a couple that we have right now. But yeah, they can infuse it with whatever type of fruit they want.
Right. And I noticed it has a cork in it.
It does.
So that looks like it's going to be a challenge to get off.
It's a two-stepper. It's definitely one for the waiter's corkscrew here.
Let's see you do it.
So yeah.
Oh, you actually have to.
I
thought it was connected to the cap. No. Oh, that's crazy. Yeah. Now, is there a reason for that? Because of like the Lambic?
What I have heard.
Well done.
What I have heard is that part of why they do it that way is because with the wild yeast fermentation, sometimes you have a little bit of bottle fermentation going on. Oh, okay. So they cork it and then cap it. Kind of like with the champagne, you have the cage on top. I don't know if that's bunk that I was told, or if that's real, but that's the most.
I believe it.
That's the most plausible explanation I've ever heard. So.
Sounds right to me. My first Lambic beer.
So, again, on this one...
It does have a different taste to it.
What I like about this one is you can still get that quality of before the fruit is introduced to it. Right. You can still tell this was not a sweet beer. I mean, this you can kind of get like just the littlest tinge of the sour.
Yeah. And you had the perfect description that it's not soda. So it's not to the point where you're like, ugh, like fruit soda. Right. You still have that good kind of taste to it on your palate. Yeah.
I think these are really interesting because I think they strike a very good balance between the really sour and the if you ever hear of a goose or anything like that, those are sour Lambic styles. Right. And the soda pop styles. So, this is a nice kind of middle ground, pays good homage to the traditional styles, and still acknowledges that a lot of the modern consumer wants more sweetness to it. So
great. Yeah. Well, we learned a lot today. Lambic, strawberry. I had my first Lambic. It was delicious. And then tomorrow we're going to finish out Fruit Beer Week on Poppin Caps with Wachusett Blueberry, which is from Massachusetts, where I'm from. So I love all those breweries up there. New England. We're here in Connecticut. Blueberry beers are always a win. So tomorrow we'll do that on the episode. We're here at Townline Fine Wine, Spirits, and Beer in Stratford for Poppin Caps Fruit Beer Week. This is Steve. I'm Begley. We'll see you tomorrow.